Hello, everybody. We finally reached the last episode of Damage Guide series. This time, we will discuss attribute damage and energy regeneration. Let's talk about anomaly damage. The formula for anomaly damage is very similar to that for direct damage, with the primary difference being in their base damage areas. Anomaly damage. Base damage area X. Amplification area, X anomaly mastery. Area, X defense area. X resistance area, X vulnerability area, X days vulnerability, area X level area. We know that there are 5 types of attack attributes in the game, which also represent 5 types of anomaly damage. Each type of anomaly damage is distinct, and the conditions for causing damage vary widely. So, in the upcoming sections on anomaly attributes, I will break down and explain each attribute in detail. Before that, let me share a few general rules about anomaly damage. 1. Anomaly attribute damage cannot crit. 2. The duration of anomaly effects is usually 10 seconds. 3. Anomaly damage is based on the attributes of the agent contributing to the anomaly accumulation and is distributed according to their proportion of anomaly contribution. That is, when an anomaly is triggered, it is calculated by dividing the agent's contribution to the anomaly accumulation proportionally according to their anomaly mastery value, and the calculated values are then summed to obtain the final anomaly value. Burn. Normal enemy. Base damage. 50% X attack power, organic enemy. Base damage. 75% X attack power. Fire attribute causes an anomaly state that deals damage every 0.5 seconds for the duration of the effect. Fire attributes counter organic type enemies, and applying burn can interrupt the actions of organic type enemies. Shock, regular enemy. Base damage, 125% X attack power, machine enemy. Base damage, 187.5% X attack power. The anomaly state caused by the electric attribute results in damage being calculated every time the enemy is attacked during the duration, with a maximum of 1 damage occurrence per second. Electric attributes counter machine-type enemies, and applying shock can interrupt the actions of machine-type enemies. Corruption. Regular enemy. Base damage, 62.5% X attack power. Energy enemy. Base damage, 93.8% X attack power. The anomaly state caused by the ether attribute results in damage being calculated every time the enemy is attacked during the duration, with a maximum of 1 damage occurrence every 0.5 seconds. Ether attributes counter energy-type enemies, and applying corruption can interrupt the actions of energy-type enemies. Freeze and frostbite. When freeze is applied, it simultaneously imposes the frostbite effect on the enemy. The duration of freeze depends on the enemy unit, typically lasting about 3 seconds, while frostbite lasts for 10 seconds. During frostbite, the critical hit damage received by the enemy is increased by 10%. When the duration of freeze ends, or the enemy receives a heavy hit, it triggers shatter, causing a significant amount of ice attribute damage. Assault and flinch. The anomaly state caused by physical attacks. When assault is applied, it simultaneously imposes the flinch effect on the enemy. Flinch lasts for 10 seconds, during which the daze value received by the enemy is increased by 10%. When assault is triggered, it deals a high amount of physical damage to the enemy, and can interrupt the actions of all types of enemies. Assault-based damage, 713% X attack power. Disorder. Disorder occurs when multiple anomaly effects are applied to a team. When another type of anomaly effect is applied to an enemy already in an anomaly state, disorder is triggered. This effect prematurely ends the previous anomaly and switches to the newly applied anomaly effect, directly calculating the total damage of the previous anomaly at the time of the switch. Finally, the 5th category, energy regeneration. Energy is the resource characters use to execute X special attacks, which are high in damage and often crucial for most characters' core abilities. A typical example in the game is Anton, whose output depends on the burst mode activated after releasing an X special attack. In burst mode, Anton continuously consumes energy, but is also able to deal higher damage. Thus, in the game, it can be said that the faster a character's energy regeneration, the higher their potential damage. The automatic energy regen rate is designed for characters who may not appear frequently on the field and stay in the back, only coming forward temporarily to deliver a burst of damage or support. As for which characters need this feature, we will discuss this in more detail when we talk about team composition. Alright, that concludes all the content for this episode. Indeed, delving into data can get quite hardcore. I hope you can hit the like button, I really appreciate it. The next video won't be as complex. I plan to discuss team compositions in Zenless Zone 0. If you're interested, don't forget to hit the subscribe so you won't miss it. See you in the next episode.